Hello guys, welcome back again. Last section we looked onto how to set up our database, and I made a slight mistake in the previous lecture. I called this a function, but it's not a function, it's a stored procedure. I'm sorry about that, guys. We saw that when we execute this stored procedure, it's able to bring back the results as you've seen here. So these are the results. So we are done with this section. We are done with setting up our database. Remember, our mission is to come up with an amazing API for the food list menu. Okay. Now, our second thing is to search Visual Studio 2012. You can click here and it loads. For my case, I have already loaded it. When you open it, you come here to File, then you navigate to Menu. You come here to File, you come to New, then you navigate to Website, and you wait a bit. My PC is a bit slow, I'm sorry about that. So when this menu comes here, you click on Visual C# under the templates, and then you select ASP.NET WebForms site. So we are going to use ASP.NET WebForms. Why am I going to use ASP.NET WebForms? ASP.NET WebForms is very simple, and most of the people here are not quite familiar with WebForms. But WebForms is quite interesting, and it's doing lots of work in just less than a minute. And most of the amazing things here do not take a lot of time. And it's really amazing, and it's very interactive. So I would recommend a person to make APIs in WebForms. After clicking here, down here they will give you a provision. It will be a path where the website is going to be saved. So this last name here you see, it's the name of the website you are going to create. So let us change this to Food App. After changing this to Food App, we click OK. Ensure that you have traced the path of the website you've created, because we are going to host this website. Here they have thrown a certain exception. I don't know why, but let me try to open it again, and I rename it again Food App, and I press OK. So as you see here, I don't know what is the problem. Well, I don't know why the problem is coming. Let us repeat again, but it should work on your PC. New website, and then you choose this one as we said, and then we rename this one to Food App, and then we press OK. So when we press OK, our project has to be created, and this sometimes take time according to the machine you are having and the specifications you do have on your machine. Well, I've skipped that part of loading. If the project has finished to load, you'll be able to see these kinds of weird code, but it's very simple to read. You can come here down and you switch to the design view. When you switch to the design view, you will be able to view this page here. You can try to edit this template it's very easy to edit. So if you come here up and you try to run in the browser you're having, you might be having Chrome, you might be having Torch as me, or Explorer. You can test and run the project and you see if it's working. So let us see if the project is going to come. Well, it takes some time, but it's coming. Wow. So this is our website. You are seeing here it has finally loaded. So let us come back here. We can cancel the loading, the running of the application. So let us try to navigate through these folders you are seeing here, these weird folders, and you see they are yours. Now this is the solution. They call it a solution of our website. This solution or this project has the following folders. This one, the first folder is called an account, and it consists of these web forms you are seeing, and these web forms specifically for creating accounts, login, register. As you see here, we have login, register. These ones first, they come in automatically for the purposes of helping us to learn. So if you try to use these ones, they will work out. And app code, this one consists of classes which are having information regarding the databases, and as well as authentication and so much and so forth. So this app code folder, we are going to use it so much because most of the work which is done in the back end is done in this app code folder. There is this bin folder. We are not going to use it so much. I'm not going to talk about that. We have this content folder. This content folder, you can put our CSS here for the purposes of designing a website, and as well as their themes here, Bootstrap themes, which can help you to beautify your website. We also do have these scripts, the JavaScript scripts, which can help us to post our data, and as well as getting our data for the purposes of developing a website. We also do have this one, this web form. You can click on it and you come to the design. This is the about page you are seeing here. When you run this app, just run it again. So they give you this notification when you run it again. Let me close this previous one. When you run the app, they will show you this about page. If you press on it, if you come back home, you will see the first page you saw. If you press contact, you will see contact. So this is just a small template for a website, so it just comes automatically. Sorry, let me cancel the run. So we have also contact, we saw that, and default. So default is the one we are in currently right now. So since we are having a mission of creating an API, let us create our own folder for the purposes of being organized. We come here on the project, right click on the project, come to add, and then you add in a new folder. Let us call it API. Inside this folder, we are going to create our APIs inside this folder. So for the purposes of being organized, that's why I called it an API. Let's right click on the folder, come to add new item. When you add new item, click on the web form you are seeing here, and then we rename this web form to, let us call it menu, and we press add. So we've just created another new web form under the folder called API. So when you go to the design, you'll see nothing, because basically I know you have some little knowledge in HTML. This is an HTML code. There is nothing inside here. There's head, body, and inside the body there is a form, and the form doesn't hold anything. So you can come here and you try to drop some items there, buttons. So it's so friendly. The usability here is so easy. So, but this is not our aim. We are not aiming to do this. So since we are going to create an API, you switch here to source. We do not need this doc type HTML code. You just rub it, because this one is not necessary. We are not going to create a web page. We just need an API. Furthermore information about a web form. When you create a web form, it consists of two files. The first file is the design view, the one which you are in. I've deleted the source code for HTML. And the second file is for C#. So this C# code, this C# file is the one which enables the functionality of this interface you see here. So if at all you put here a button, to enable it to work, you come here in the code and you give it the power to work. So when we switch to this C# code you are seeing here, we have a public partial class called API menu. This is the class, and inside the class we have a method called pageLoad. This pageLoad method, it executes whatever is inside here whenever a page is loading. So if you want to execute something inside here, it will occur when the page loads. So the things you see here up, these are the using statements. Whatever you are using outside the context in this file, you have to put it up here with this word, inbuilt word called using. It's like the same thing in Java. When you are using Java and you try to put in something outside the context, you have to use a certain statement called importing. You have to import that function or that inbuilt method or that inbuilt class you are trying to access. Now, our purpose is to create an API. After doing this, we have to move to our app code here, and we create something new. You come to add new item. When you come to add new item, you look for what we call a data set. This data set is also another item inside Visual Studio, which is so powerful. It enables us to interconnect the database to our website we are having. If we make this connection of a database to a website, we can use it whatever we want. Since we are going to create an API, we have to first make sure that there is a connection between the database and this website which we have just created. So let us tap here and we rename this one to menu dataset, and we press add. It's going to take a while. Bingo, it has just finished. So when it has just finished, you'll see it here down below the folder app code. So when you see this thing below app code, click on it and it will open. So this is how a dataset looks. This is how a database does what? looks. So right click here inside, press add new, click on table adapter. When you click on table adapter, they will give you this pop-up here. Choose your data connection. You have to ensure that you are connected on the database. So they want to ask you, which connection are you using? Are you using MySQL? Are you using MS, Microsoft Server SQL? Are you going to use Postgres? And other types of databases. There are so many. But this question pops up to you. Which kind of database are you going to use? Since in our case, we are using MySQL, we have to ensure that MySQL is connected. So come here to new connection. Here down they will show you MySQL database. If you don't see this word here and you are there watching this video, make sure that you have a problem with your connector. Go to Google, try to find out how to install or which type of connector do I have to install to ensure that my SQL database is here. So if your connector is connected very well with the IDE you are using, Visual Studio 2012 or higher, make sure that you have the version which is suitable for your IDE. For my case, it is 2012. So let us try to add the values here. Server name, localhost. Username, I'm using root. And as well as your password. Type in your password. Check the password, save my password. And here on the database, there is a list of the databases you've created. For our case, it is Food App. Come here, test the connection. The connection will be succeeded. If it is not succeeded, please ensure that your connectors are working very well. Press OK, OK, and then you'll be able to view this localhost inside the brackets Food App. Then press next. They'll show you, do you want to save the connection string as your? Yes, you have to check this one, because we are going to come here again and again to add in more table adapters. Click next. Here they give you two options. Do you want to use SQL statement or you want to use existing stored procedures? Remember, in our table here, we have our stored procedure, get menu list. So we have to use an existing stored procedure since it is the one having our information. Press next. Then here they will give you 4 options. Come here up on the select combo. Select the name of the stored procedure. Get menu list. Insert. We don't need to insert. We don't need to update. We don't need to delete. You can leave these ones. But do you notice when you select the stored procedure, here they give you an overview of the columns you've been having in the database. There is menu ID, there is food name, and as well as the price. Click next. These are the methods. The first one is the fill method, fill a data table, and this one is return a data table. You can leave these ones as default. Click next and finish. The moment you click finish, you'll have your own table adapter here. So after doing this, then now we are just near to make our amazing API. So all the data which we've inserted here in our table is now inside here, the table adapter. All the data we've just inserted here in MySQL is kept here in just a single table adapter. Look how powerful a table adapter is. So let us go back here in our menu.aspx.cs. Since here we are going to put our API. Now let us use this small logic. Let me write this code. I'm going to say if request dot query string equals, let me say format equals get list and I say response dot write line dot write hello. Now do you see this logic here I've written? The logic says if request.query string, the query string I'm writing here is format, equals to get list, we are going to print out response.write is used to print on the web page hello Huzaifa. That's my name. Hello Huzaifa. So let us try to run this application and we see if what we've done it will work. So it's loading. It's loading and it's bringing nothing. If you try to see this path here up, localhost and the port number, food up, when you come here in our solution explorer, food up here, after food up /API, the folder we've made here, inside the folder /menu.spx, you see here menu.spx, but nothing is coming. Why? Now when you come back here and you see this logic I've written, request.query string format is equal to get list, here we can style up our URL in order to be parameterized, to pass through some data or to get some information from the server. So there is a syntax we use. We add a question mark in front and then we pass in the query string format and we said the format is equal to get list. After doing that, press enter. Wow, you'll see hello Huzaifa. Last time it was not coming because this one was missing, the query string format and its assigned value was missing. So meaning that this one had a certain information because of the condition which was written here, an if statement. It printed out hello Huzaifa just because it was given a certain query string with a certain assignment. I think we are together. So let us stop our program running and we continue. Let us remove this. Okay, just comment it. Now, since we have just finished to make our table adapter, come here, right click here, copy the name, get menu list table adapter, come back here, paste the name here. We are going to initialize, or we are going to instantiate this table adapter. We assign it an object name A is equal to that, and then we add this name again. I think you know about instantiation in C# and Java, they are the same. So when you see these things, they have this table adapter, they tend to be having an error here down. You see this red line, it doesn't give any hope. But what you do, since it is not inside the context, I talked about this, you right click on it and you see somewhere here the word resolve. This word resolve consists of a using which can help you to access that class outside the context. So press on using, it will come here up, as you see, using menu table adapter. Menu table adapter, they add this word menu. Sorry about that. They get this word menu and they add dataset and table adapters. So you see the red line has gone. So after instantiating this table adapter, remember it's the one which is containing all the records of this table. I think you see how amazing and powerful C# is. Come on the next line and try to print out these elements in the response. Don't write out instead of the word hello Huzaifa. Now, before we go any further, we have to first add in a certain class which is going to help us to make all these values in the table in a JSON format, in a JSON array. Come here to app code, add new item, you add in a class and you call it JSON creator. Add in this file in the app code. So the moment you add this file, you'll see it here. But for my case, I already have this file. I'm just going to paste it here, JSON creator. So let me open it for you guys, and you try to copy what is inside here. You can pause the video and you try to copy what is inside here. So it is just a class, as you see, and inside the class there is a returnable method. It returns a string, and inside here in the parameter it calls for a data table, and this data table inside here, the code you see here, returns back a JSON format. It gets all these values here and it turns them into a JSON array. So when we come back here in our menu.aspx, we say, let us declare a string here, string result is equal to, you can say a dot, you can say JSON creator, since it is the class, dot table to JSON, since it is the method here in this file, table to JSON, you have accessed the class, and inside the class there is this method table to JSON. Then you open this parenthesis. Since here you saw that it is going to accept a table adapter, a data table, and since this is also our data table, we shall say a, the name, the object name, dot get data, so a.get data is the table data, meaning that this one here, we are getting the data, the whole data here you've seen here, by just using a.get data. So this JSON creator is going to make sure that this data has turned into JSON. Then after doing this, we have to print this result inside the response.write. So instead of putting this hello Huzaifa, we write result, and we are done. You make sure that you come here up and you save whatever you are doing. So this is all what we have to do when we are making an API. Let us try to run and we'll see. It's loading, as you see, and it has not bring anything. I hope you are still remembering this. The URL here up is incomplete. We have to add this question mark, and we add format get list. The moment we add this, wow, we get the list, the JSON array list containing all the information we do have in the database. And this is what we call an API. We have succeeded in creating our first API in ASP.NET. Most of the people tend to use PHP as a platform in making these APIs, but most of the languages have that capability of creating APIs. Python also does the capability, C# has the capability, Java has the capability. It just depends on the culture of the company, but most of the languages can accomplish the same thing. So this is ASP.NET, just a combination of HTML and C#, and we've just made an amazing API. So when you try to look at these items, are the same items in the table. What they do, they get this column, like for example menu ID, and they put it here, and they put the first value, food name, and they put bag, the price, and they put the price. So the whole row is determined by these braces here. These braces. This is also another item. This is also another item, and so on and so forth. You can even have a zillion of them here. The API will not care. It will just list them. I think this is the end of this lecture. We have successfully created our first amazing API. We meet in the next lecture and we see how are we going to retrieve this API in the Android application. Have a good day.